Hey guys, this is IrieStarcraft and I'm back to cast another game for you. This one will be a 4 versus 4 and it will be on toxic slums. Now to introduce the players, it's going to be haCkCarlos, the red Terran player, and microBOSS, the purple Zerg player, DaSaNi, the blue Zerg player, and FidesFatum. I'm not 100% on that one. FidesFatum, how about that for now? And he is the teal Protoss. Their opponents will be Unfurl, the yellow Zerg player who is not using his Overlord, and Deja, the orange Protoss player. And now the Overlord is moving, and their teammates will be Ziram, the green Zerg player, and VZO, the pink Zerg player. So it's going to be 3 Zergs and a Protoss versus the standard Zerg Terran Protoss for the top team. Now, no surprise, we are going to be seeing some shenanigans. So we have Deja here, the orange Protoss, is going to be building some proxy gateways, and DaSaNi is about to scout that out right now with his Overlord. See what I said? See what I was saying, man? He's not using his Overlord to scout. Scout with your Overlord. You will find the proxy gateways sooner than you would have otherwise. But I guess you could send your Overlord up here. I don't know. I guess if you're thinking of doing some sort of really early rush, that makes sense. But yeah, anyway, I don't want to belabor the whole initial Overlord direction. Actually, it is a pretty important thing to think about. If you're Zerg, where you send your first and second Overlords, because you want them to fly. You want your Overlord to fly over a potentially cheese area, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. If it were me, I would not send my first Overlord directly up into this location because I will be able to do this at any time later in the game. I would send my first Overlord out, maybe out in this area towards the opponent, you know, out around here. And probably land him like in this area so I can watch run-bys for a while until Marines become something to worry about. Anyway, I'm really digressing on that one, as there are ling-on-ling action going on inside of haCkCarlos' base, who is trying to go for those Hellions. He's got his reactor coming down right now, and microBOSS is going to need the cover of some SCVs to try and help defend that Ziram, the green Zerg player. His name is Ziram. He is running his lings back and forth. Could have maybe killed some more SCVs there than he did, but right now, bottom team really putting the hurt on haCkCarlos, and he may have to lift off. As you can see already, he is trying to do his reactor swap and trying to save these SCVs, but he's running them so far away. And now SCVs are just sitting here and dying for haCkCarlos, so this whole Hellion strategy not going to pan out. He is going to have to lift off everything he has and fly over. Apparently he's just going to fly right over here instead of to the island location. And I don't know. Carlos, I'm sure, will be able to figure out where he's going. DaSaNi doesn't like where he's going, if you can read the chat. And so here we go. Ling's going to continue on to the next base, and that is microBOSS. He's got his Queen in a pretty good position back in here. Queen does not, now that the Queen has run way out here, does not look like it will survive. No, the Spine Crawler, though, has finished, and he is trying to use his drones to protect that, but that is all of a sudden not going to work. So it looks like microBOSS's base is now completely in shambles. So the triple Zerg Protoss proxy gateways, even though they got scouted, top team did not do anything about that, and they played defensively, and now they are down 2 teammates, though haCkCarlos not completely out of it, but he is pretty much out of it for a while. So Zerglings are going to continue on to the next base. This time they are not going to succeed because DaSaNi has a beautiful setup here with 2 Spine Crawlers, an Evolution Chamber to block this entrance here, and a million roaches to help with that. And FidesFatum, he does have a couple of cannons here, and apparently throughout this entire time I did miss FidesFatum cannoning out Deja from his base, so I managed to somehow miss that the entire time. Sorry about that one. And FidesFatum, though, could his base be in a lot of trouble? It really would seem that way, because all of his probes are trying to protect a single cannon. And somehow they're doing a decent job of that, but there's way too many units here, man. There's just no way if these roaches from DaSaNi are not going to help. FidesFatum's base is completely going to be destroyed. And Deja's base is not destroyed. He managed to move down here, though he doesn't want to start mining again just yet. He wants to give the top team a chance because they are about to be down 3 players pretty much. And honestly, this is a point in the game where a lot of people will just leave. So, but this game's not over yet. I mean, DaSaNi, he's got a good amount of roaches here. I don't know. I'm not gonna call the game over already because so far this has been a pretty one-sided beatdown. If it weren't for me missing FidesFatum cannoning out Deja from his base, I mean, other than that, nothing really has been done effectively by the top team. haCkCarlos is going to be scouting with his barracks now. He is going for the starport and doing a swap on a tech lab. He will be getting some banshees out, and hopefully for haCkCarlos, he will be able to do some nice damage with that. VZO's base completely exposed to a banshee harass. He does have this overlord that should see this right here. He should see this banshee coming out and realize that he needs some type of air defense. So he does not have an evolution chamber. He has a single queen that's stuck in here. He is getting this expansion right now. I'm thinking if I'm VZO right now, I am immediately throwing down at least 2 spore crawlers, because he is going to be getting a spire, it looks like, but I just feel like this banshee is going to tear him a new one in 1 minute here. And now roaches for DaSaNi looks like are going to try and push out here, and Ziram leaving his zerglings unattended, going to get ripped up by these roaches. So VZO also leaving some zerglings unattended here, sitting on that ramp, allowing DaSaNi to just eat them all alive. This is strange. These roaches are on like hold position or something, because these zerglings, I guess they aren't on hold position as they start running now. So Ziram losing a lot of zerglings there unnecessarily, and VZO leaving his zerglings, not bothering to help with those. So I guess if you want to let the top team stay in the game, that is how you do it. Just throw your lings away. As now 1 million roaches, I shouldn't say 1 million. This is more like what, 16 roaches, 15 roaches are coming in here to VZO's base, and actually VZO did manage to just barely get a spore crawler out there. So nice play. And Carlos is going to be repairing one of these banshees. Meanwhile, though, there are way too many roaches here. VZO looks like his base is in a lot of trouble, and he looks like he's going to lose his base. Somehow these Zerg players do not have any army. Deja, he did get cannoned out of his main base, and he's got these 2 gateways, proxy gateways, still just sitting here. And he's rallying his units over here. It's almost like the bottom team went for this super early aggression, and then now they're just sitting here. They're like not even playing. As Ziram, okay, now he's moving these zerglings at least. They're checking the APM. I mean, okay, they have average APMs there. I don't know, maybe I'm just missing something here. As now more banshees from Carlos are going to take out this expansion from VZO, and VZO is about to be out of this game completely. As Ziram now is going to try and counterattack, it looks like, with his zerglings, except he decided that he doesn't want to. So a little indecisive there, and Unfurl, meanwhile, with a meager supply of roaches, being way too indecisive, and the whole time this is going on, the bottom team's base is just getting torn apart. Carlos is just microing these banshees, and DaSaNi just steamrolling with the roaches. So it looks like now it still can't decide what to do with these zerglings and roaches. Unfurl now is in here with 4 roaches, but with 3 banshees on the field, the roaches are going to be pretty much useless. I mean, that is just the way it is, and unless they can get some sort of air units or hydras or something. Ziram was trying to get that, or no, that was VZO that was trying to get a spire down. Unfurl is getting a whole bunch of spore crawlers all over his bases. He's now just starting a spire. It may be too late. for that Spire. And we will see, though. It looks like Ziram was trying to make a counterattack here, but there's just no way, with such a meager amount of Zerglings, that he would be able to. If he had saved his Zerglings from earlier, this could be a completely different game. There are 2 Void Rays on the field for Deja. 2 Void Rays, so that will be definitely strong against the Banshees. Banshees, however, are much faster than the Void Rays, so they will be able to run away. I believe they are faster than the Void Rays. Let's see, 2.75. And a Void Ray is, what do we have? 2.25, so a little bit faster. So the Void Rays shouldn't be able to do too much harassment to these Banshees. And somehow my keyboard just locked there for a second. That was a bit strange. I guess maybe I'll just follow the Banshees around. No, because there are roaches from DaSaNi, a million more roaches. They do have 1 attack upgrade, and now are going to be what looks like steamrolling Unfurl's base. So, this is amazing right now. I don't know what to say, because the bottom team, seemingly, there was no way they could lose this game, and then they just found a way. It looks like they're screwed now. The top team is going to pull this one out, because Unfurl, well, here we go, Unfurl with the last stand here, combined with the Void Rays. Can they make a stand? The Banshees are now nowhere to be seen. They are going after Deja's main base, so will DaSaNi be able to break these roaches? The Void Rays from Deja may allow the bottom team to hold on for a little bit longer, but now Carlos with 2 Vikings, if microed properly, will be able to take out these Void Rays. It looks like he has, FidesFatum is microing these Vikings, because Fides does not have a base to work with. And so he's going to micro the Vikings. And is he microing the Banshees as well? No. Carlos looks like... no. microBOSS, the purple Zerg, is using the Banshees. FidesFatum is using the Vikings. And those Vikings distracting the Void Rays, if nothing else, while DaSaNi cleans out the base from underneath. So actually a really nice job of the top team. Nice job by the top team of sharing units control. Once your teammate's dead, give them a little army to go harass with or to control. Because if all you're doing is controlling these 3 Vikings, you should be able to do a pretty good job of micro. As you can see, those Vikings doing right now is shooting and scooting backwards. They could have gotten some more shots off, I think, but they're sort of running around now as we are watching the Vikings chase the Void Rays, as the Void Rays are trying to chase the roaches. Unfurl's base is actually still intact somehow. So, Unfurl's still in this game, and he has shared control as well. As you can see that the pink player, VZO, was controlling his spore colors. That's not something you see too often. Mutalists, though, for Unfurl are going to run right into the cannons from FidesFatum. And that will be the end of those mutas, and that will most likely be the end of this game, as that was not a very good play right there. And the hatcheries and Nexi are all dead for the bottom team, and as DaSaNi put it right there, they won. So Deja may have 5 Void Rays on the field, but that is not going to be enough to win them the game. Now it is a 1 versus 2. And top team has the upper hand, so we will wait until the GGs go down. But wow, man, this is I'm not gonna take it. I'm not trying to take away from the top team's play, because they played really well. A nice job by DaSaNi and haCkCarlos hanging in there, and FidesFatum with the cannon rush that I did not even see. So I will go back and post a little post-it note, I think, on this one, if I have time, before I leave for my trip, which is tomorrow morning early. So this is going to be the last set of games that I put up for a couple of weeks, so you guys are going to have to hang in there for a couple of weeks, because I'm going to be in South America. But I will get to another game or two here before I pack it in for my vacation. So people are starting to leave, and microBOSS is saying to take out the trash, something of that nature, and there we go. This game is over, and like I was saying, I don't want to take away from the top team's victory. Very well played, but the bottom team, wow. Wow, this is choke sesh choke sesh big time, as there were blunders made all over the place. I could go on, and I don't know if any of you have been watching the NBA Finals. What an awesome series it was, but can we say Mavericks versus Heat in this one, maybe? Heat choking it away a little bit. The bottom team throwing Zerglings away to this huge ball of roaches early on, and I don't know, not taking advantage of their advantage. They had a huge advantage here, and only VZO tried to go for a Spire, and he couldn't even get that Spire up before there were Banshees and Roaches on top of him. I don't know. They needed Mutas a lot sooner, and it just didn't work out. So, well played by the top team. Thank you, FidesFatum, for sending me this game. It was a pleasure to cast, and that's going to do it for me. This is IrieStarcraft, and peace out.